I grew up Mormon. Anybody else? There's a lot of guilt associated with those woos. That was very funny. Anybody currently Mormon? Anybody? Yeah, fuck them. Okay, no, just that'd be fun if this was a missionary experience, it turns out. Because we're just like, none of you are Mormon. Interesting, we have two young men who would like to talk to all of you after the show, just outside. No, I grew up Mormon. I grew up very Mormon. I grew up so Mormon. I served a mission. I got married super young, very young, and to the point that the only person I've ever had sex with is my wife. Anybody else like that? Anybody else only ever had sex with my wife? You're fucking my wife! As a feminine cheer. Good, honestly, good for her. That's cool. Ally, that's dope. Sad ally, but ally nonetheless. Let's see. No, I grew up Mormon. What do I want to talk about? Oh, Utah. Utah's weird sexually because of all the Mormonism in it, I feel like. There's a lot of swingers in Utah right now. Yeah, any swingers in the audience? Yeah? Same person who's fucking my wife, I'm pretty sure. That was problematic. There's a lot of swingers in Utah. I feel like that's weird to be ex-Mormon and a swinger a little bit, right? To be like, Joseph Smith was a polygamist. And that's the only thing he got right. That was pretty cool. It's a weird stance to take, I feel like. But yeah, there's a lot of swingers in Utah. Anybody been hit on by a swinger? Anybody? By a swinger couple? Yeah, okay. Yeah. A couple of us that are fucking hot. Sorry about the rest of you guys. No, it's actually not very impressive. If you've met swingers, they're not super attractive. So it is very much so a quantity over quality play, I will say. It's never like two good-looking people, it's always two people who are like, hey, 2 5s make a 10, am I right? It's usually the thing. I do want to say, it is different than polyamory. Polyamory is very popular, and that's different, right? Polyamory is different than swingers. Do we know this? No? Yeah, it's different. Oh, okay. People are like allies for polyamory. We're all like, fuck swingers, but don't. That's what they want. That's No, polyamory, it's different. The only thing I don't like about polyamory is that some people call it poly. I don't like that. Because I grew up knowing poly meant Polynesians, right? You can't take their land and their nickname, that's fucking nonsense. Don't do that, give them something. But they're polyamorous. They're poly, is what they say. I've got a buddy who he was asking me if I ever wanted to be poly, if I ever thought about it. He was like, sincerely think about it. If you and your wife opened up your relationship, if you and your wife opened your relationship, what do you think would happen? And I told him, why are you trying to fuck my wife? Why are you? I knew what he was getting at. No, I thought about it sincerely, and I was like, let's see, if I open up my marriage with my wife, I think what would happen is I think she would have as many sexual partners as she wants, and I think I would get a lot more projects done, I guess. Just because it feels a little different, right? When if a married woman approached you and she was like, hey, you want to fuck a married woman? Even that as a pickup line, pretty hot. That's interesting. It's interesting. But you flip that around and you get approached by a man who's like, you want to fuck a married man? Feels like the follow-up question is like, for how much? Like, what are we dealing with here, cat daddy? What are we talking about? I was thinking in the back, I don't think I'm a cat daddy. I'm more of like a pussy father sort of energy is what I'm going for. Not today, though. Today I was walking outside and a couple teenagers looked at me and they went, fucking gay Mario over here. And I took that as a compliment, to be honest. I was like, oh, wahoo! You think Mario's not gay? Wahoo's his catchline. Yeah, he's gay. And I'm a little, so let's get into that. Let's see. Growing up Mormon, did you know Mormons have to confess to their bishop about everything that you do? It's naughty. They have to, yeah, ooh, nice. Says the lady fucking my wife. Oh, you'll confess that in public, but you won't talk to your bishop. Now you have to confess everything to your bishop, who's usually like your next door neighbor. It's very awkward. And they ask weird questions. If you confess to sexual stuff, they do follow-up questions, and they're weird. Right? People, ex-Mormon, right? They ask weird questions? Yeah? Okay, yes. Thank God you said yes, because Imagine if you all were like, nope, just you, dude. This is where I find out I was groomed. That sucks. It sucks. You know how when you're confessing masturbating, your bishop asks like, prove it. You know how that you know how that happened to all of us. And then he told you you were the best one. You remember that? What? Some of us have hidden talents, and I don't know. He thought he was two hands. Anyway, we'll move on. No, they ask weird questions. They sincerely do. I confessed to my bishop first time. I confessed about masturbating. First question he had, he said, "Okay, how long?" Which I was like, I don't know. Do you measure hip to tip, top to tip? Like, what are we talking about? And he was like, "No, like for how long have you been masturbating?" I was like, "Oh, okay. In that case, forever? I guess forever." Forever, like, but probably before this life, even like the pre-mortal life. Mormons believe in an existence before this one. I was like, I think that's where I learned it. Like when the angels were playing their trumpets, I too was wailing on my horn. I think. If you can count what I was doing when I first started exploring my body, if you can count it as masturbation, because I wasn't like touching myself. I didn't touch myself. I just kind of like rubbed around on the bed. That's what I did. And the reason for that is because way back in the day, there was a Mormon prophet who said that if you masturbate because your hand is the same gender as you, it would turn you gay. I know, and at the time I was like crazy, and now I'm like, maybe he's a little right. I don't know. But yeah, he said that it would turn you gay, and so as a kid, I was just rubbing around on the bed, like, this is heterosexual. Scissoring my pillow like a straight man does, right guys? Right dudes? Right dudes? The next question he asked if while touching myself, he asked if I used any assistance while masturbating. And I said, my bed? And he said, what? And I said, never mind. No, but it threw me off at the time. I was like, I don't know what this means, assistance. And I want to open that up to you guys, genuinely. If someone asks you that, like, do you use any assistance while masturbating? What do you think that person is talking about? Another person. Toys, vibrator, your imagination. Do you practice mindfulness while you masturbate? Do you let your mind clear and open up your third eye? He's just trying to be helpful, that's fun. Another person, that's a wild response as well, because that feels like a weird thing to say to someone, where it's like, I've been masturbating, and they're like, with what? And it's like, with him. Like, that's a different thing, I think. Toys is what I thought at the time, but here's the thing, this was way back in the day that the fleshlight hadn't been invented yet. Hadn't been invented. The closest thing we had was like those gel tubes that, like, you could buy at like the Dollar Tree or like aquariums or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you squeeze them and they like slip endlessly. I mean, you guys, those things that like every guy when they first saw them, he thought, I'ma fuck that. You know what? And mine was named Stacy, so there you go. Whoa, that was wild. You guys shared like two ends? What was that high five about? Yeah. They're only that big. That's fun to know. That's cool. Both of you just like, I'm stuck. You too? Totally stuck, dude. How are we gonna get out of this? Prove it. No, that was the only thing we had. I was confused. Assistance, yeah. I was like, what is assistance? So he clarified. He meant pornography. Some people much smarter than the strong majority of us understood. He said pornography, and I was like, yeah, of course, absolutely, absolutely. I have not been practicing mindfulness. I've been practicing Pornhub instead. And so yeah, I was like, yeah, I've been doing that. And he was like, okay. And how long when you masturbate? Like, how long are you masturbating for? And I was like, a couple minutes. And he's like, okay. And do you masturbate to completion? And I was like, yeah, you got to treat yourself right. And, and then he goes, okay, so if you're masturbating to completion, it should take longer than a few minutes then, right? And I was like, yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, did I say minutes? I meant like hours, bro. No, like, you know what? Actually, I let the lady in the video come first, to be honest. So I'm a gentleman. Just me and my boys in the finger trap. That's what I'm talking about. It's fun. Let's see. Much like Quinn, I showed up a little late, but much like Quinn, I too a little bit gay. I'm a little gay. Anybody else gay? Anybody else at least a little gay? Yeah? Who's gay? Sorry, I went to BYU. That's how I'm used to asking. Who is it? Who's gay? Who's a theater major? Who's gay? It's a real thing BYU did. Did you know that? That's fun. They found theater majors and they're like probably gay, and all of them are like, shit. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a little bit gay, but I also live in Provo. I live in Provo. And I do a lot of shows in Provo. And anytime I do a show and I talk about being, just a little gay, I always feel the dudes there kind of like pull back in the audience. And they're just like, what? You're gay? How gay? I'm like, I don't know, a little bit. Like, at least I like kissing dudes, I like kissing dudes. Right, guys? Yeah. Kissing dudes. What are some bro besos, Some dude smooches? That's fine. What's some finger trapping amongst friends? That's what I have to say. A little gay. And I can feel them pull back. They're always like, so gross, dude. You'd kiss a dude? So gross. Wait, oh, you gonna try to kiss me, dude? Better not, You gonna try to kiss me, dude? So gross, dude. Better not, dude. But don't even talk to me, Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't do that thing where you go for a bro shake and then you pull me into your warm embrace, Better not hold me in a way that's both strong but tender. It's disgusting, dude. So gross. What, you gonna ask me out? What, this Friday because I'm available? It's disgusting, dude. Better not ask me to a nice sit-down dinner. It's disgusting. Well, we gonna go on a date? Better not drive up the mountains afterwards, Better not look out on that canyon, Better not stare at those mountains and think about, those really aren't just mountains, those are moments that we're looking at. Mountains are really just two plates colliding, right? Building each other up over time. Better not think about how, maybe that's what life is. Just find another person that you can collide with at the right time and slowly grow together for forever. Better not think about that. Better not look in your eyes. Better not lean in just to keep warm, Better not touch lips so softly. Hold that kiss like it's a fragile pebble that if you let it go, it might drop and break too soon. Better not do that. You better not break my heart, dude. Because that'd be fucking gross. It's so gross, dude. You better not, dude. That's my impersonation of every dude in Provo, Utah. So there you go, guys. Guys, thank you so much for coming out to Don't Tell Comedy. My name's Adam Brown. Please follow me on social media. Follow Don't Tell Utah as well, and then have a great rest of your night.